So in our last video, we left Norfolk, Virginia and headed north up the Chesapeake Bay. We had a little bout with Mother Nature, issue with a jellyfish and a swarm. Then we headed down the Delaware Bay and to Cape May in the gorgeous Victorians of Cape May. We headed up on a very foggy day through New Jersey and up onward towards New York City, and finally ended up in Long Island Sound and Branford, Connecticut. In today's video, we battle the fog of Long Island Sound as we head up to Noank, Connecticut, where we hang out at the local yacht club. We tour a private yacht. We visit Abbott's Lobster in the Rough. We then get into some shenanigans in Mystic and head over to Block Island for Race Week, where we get into all kind of trouble and really enjoy ourselves. Have you ever dreamed of selling it all and cruising into the sunset? Well, that's exactly what we did. It's no fun going it alone though, so why don't you join us for the ride? So after a quick night in Connecticut and some healthy drinking and eating, it was time to move on. We headed out into Long Island Sound in the thickest fog yet, and it was all hands on, making sure we didn't run into any boats. Some of us had some cobwebs from the night before and weren't much help. Or I don't know, maybe we need to do a wellness check. We pretty much hugged the Connecticut coastline on our way north, and this is passing Clinton and the Kelsey Point Light. We were roughly 1 mile offshore. The trip up to Noank was roughly 45 miles. It would take us a little over 3 hours. About halfway through, the fog just started to lift. At one point, we got into a little bit of a clearing and it looked like we had glaciers on both sides of us. As the sun got higher around noontime, it totally burned everything off. And we had a nice remaining ride into Noank, which is just before you enter Mystic, Connecticut. And on another positive note, the wellness check went okay, and Lori is alive and well. We are fortunate enough to have some friends who belong to a yacht club in Noank, so they invited us to tie up at the dock for a day or two in front of them and another PDQ. The club has a gorgeous view of the harbor, and we got to partake in some of the club festivities. Pancake was happy to get off the boat and also to meet some of the yacht club members. For a little dog, she has no problem holding her own with the big boys. So after 16 days of travel, we made it up to New England. We're in Noank, Connecticut, which is a nice little seaside town on kind of the entrance to Mystic, Connecticut. It's pretty popular. Staying at a friend's mooring for a couple days. We'll maybe get a little bit of work done on the boat, and they were nice enough to allow us to use one of their cars. So we do running some errands today, and you know, it's nice. You know, people let us use their old junkers, and I guess they could trust us with that type of vehicle. Jerry and Amy are fellow PDQers, and during the summer they run a charter yacht out of Stonington, Connecticut behind the Dog Watch Cafe called the Cortina. As captain and mate, they frequently check on the boat, so they decided to take us along for a tour.
For those into boats, here's some engine room porn for you. You could certainly eat off the floors. On our way back to Noank, we stopped in Mystic at our favorite restaurant, Red 36, for some sunset cocktails.
Absolutely beautiful morning in Noank, Connecticut. There'll be low winds today. We just moved to a mooring ball, courtesy of our friends on Adventurous, Jerry and Amy. They have friends, more friends than we do apparently. So they were nice enough to get us a ball here for a while, adjacent to their yacht club. And what is it? Today is Saturday. We'll probably go to Block Island for a few days and then come back, because on Thursday, Jerry hooked me up with a Yanmar mechanic who has to replace a fuel pump for me. We had a little bit of a stalling issue on the way up when we came down to low RPMs after running the boat a little hard. And it seems to be a problem that people have been having. So Jerry also has a rebuilt pump for me. He's really hooking me up. But we're gonna go visit Mom today. Mom's, I think she's gonna be 89 this year. But we're gonna bring her a lobster roll from Abbott's and just enjoy the rest of the day. Yesterday we had gusts up to 50 knots, I heard, but mostly around 25 to 30, so it's kind of a crappy day. Pretty protected in here. As you can see, we're in a beautiful cove. Directly behind me in the distance is the train bridge, and behind that is Mystic and Mystic Seaport. So we're in a lovely location here, pretty much protected on all sides. Behind me and this way is Fisher's Island, which is technically New York, even though it's probably about 2 to 3 miles off of Connecticut here. But again, very thankful to be here on this gorgeous day, and this is what summer boating is all about when you get days like today.
A short dinghy ride away is Abbott's, and they serve a lot of seafood. A specialty is lobster, and it is very well known in the area. They have both indoor and outdoor seating, and they get pretty crowded in the summertime. They even have an outside dessert bar. You really can't beat summer in New England.
All the racing boats and the junior leagues here, the Ram Island Yacht Club.
We typically spend a lot of time in Mystic, where in this case is about a 15-minute dinghy ride away. We like to hang out at the Treehouse, sort of a rooftop bar overlooking the harbor. And Red 36 is just 100 yards or a short dinghy ride across the busy Mystic River.
What's the worst that could happen? Good morning, good morning. It's a Monday morning and we are following Jerry and Amy on Adventurous to Block Island, where we're going to spend, I believe, 2 or 3 nights. And then we're going to come back to Noank for a little bit of maintenance and repair work. It looks like we're going to head out into a little bit of fog here. So we got radar rocking and rolling, but I think it's only about a 25-mile run, so it should be like an hour and a half or so once we get rocking and rolling.
It happened to be race week in Block Island, and as we approached the island, we could see the sailboats leaving the harbor to engage in the racing events. Jerry had told us that it would be busy, but we didn't realize it'd be this busy. And as we entered the channel to the harbor, it was just wall-to-wall boats coming through. There were 2, 3 abreast, and we really had to squeeze by them with a lot of care. It was pretty cool to see though, and the crew excitement was palpable. After we took a mooring ball, we scouted out some clamming spots for the future and took a walk up to Ty and Pam's house, and they're former PDQ owners, and we figured they'd have a pretty nice view of the race events. And the view absolutely did not disappoint. And though we didn't have any tickets to race week events, we found the sponsors to be very generous outside the gates.
So we are in Block Island, and we're about to do a harbor tour. What is a harbor tour, you may ask? A harbor tour is when you've been having cocktails for a number of hours, and you go and tour the harbor in your dinghy, because you probably won't be pulled over by the police or the harbor master, and it's a reason to just kind of drive around after you had a few cocktails. So. Well, we are with Adventure Us.
Yeah, you won't be pulled over because you already were today.
Another story was that
He went through a speed trap.
I kind of accelerated a little bit in a no wake zone. Not a recommended thing.
Yeah, it's in his file here.
It's in my file. So hanging out on Block Island, we're at race week, drinking tequila shots. Now we are going on a harbor tour. Harbor tour around Block Island.
And I guess most harbors are circular, and as all good harbor tours do, it brought us back to where we started, back at the Free Tequila. There's a great Eagle song about a tequila sunrise, but how about this tequila sunset?
We're back in my favorite compartment here. We fixed all the leaks, so that's really not a problem anymore. The new problem we have is when we were coming over to Block Island, this pump here, this is our waste pump, and to pump the waste overboard, once you're like, I think it's like 3 miles out, you can pump, but the pump was working. We could hear the pump, but nothing was coming out, and so it's supposed to pull it from down here where my foot is here. It sucks, or actually up here, it sucks it up here and into the pump, and it's a diaphragm, and there's 2 check valves, one here and one here, and they point up this way, so it allows all the the goodness to come up and around here, and then it pumps out a through hole in the boat, meaning it pumps out of the boat and into the sea. The problem is, like I said, it's not priming, and usually it's because something solid is stuck in one of these check valves, because the way it is the diaphragm, it's like a little plunger, it goes back and forth here, and the pressure pushes it. It pulls it up and pushes it out, and it's not able to build up pressure because one of those valves is kind of stuck open. It looks like a kind of duckbill valve like this. And last time, honestly, there's a piece of plastic in there. We're not 100% sure how it got there, but that's what did it. So my guess is it's something now. So I'm going to probably dismantle this and pull this on deck and take a look at it and see what we have. Undo the hose, these hose clamps, pull the hose off, and it's probably an easier way, but
It's a tight working area, so it's better to just take the damn thing out. So I disconnected the pump here, and it's basically just this bellows, so this rubber pulsating part, and then this part goes on it. And there's two check valves here. You could see that one right there. It's like a duck bill. It opens and closes. And then there's another one on this side that you could see in there. So it mounts, when it mounts up here, the bellows in the middle moves back and forth and creates pressure. And these little check valves are one-way valves, allow everything to kind of go up and over and out. It creates pressure, it sucks it out of the tank and blows it out. So they're kind of simplistic. The problem is that sometimes solids get stuck in this little bellows, and it keeps it open. I'm not the bellows, the check valve, and it can't create any pressure. So cleaned it out good. Yeah, there was some crud in there. We can call it some crap in there or whatever was in there. Who knows? But now I just have to reassemble it, and it should work again. Pretty easy. About an hour, hour and a half.
The center of town in Block Island is about 1.5 miles from the public dinghy dock, so it makes for a nice walk and getting us off the boat for some exercise. The National Hotel here has some great views from the porch and a nice bar overlooking where the ferries come in. And there's about 2 or 3 blocks of shops if that's your thing. We stopped in at Ballard's Restaurant and Resort for a drink. It was pretty quiet when we got there. I think it was a little before noon, and a lot of the ferries weren't in yet, but it gets pretty crowded, pretty popular, especially for the younger crowd, and they typically have live bands. There's plenty of outdoor bars and chairs and umbrellas for rent. Block Island could get pretty expensive with drinks $15 to $20. They're known for mudslides, which are pretty good. Oftentimes though, we just like hanging out on the boat during sunset and having our own cocktails and grilling on board. And doing some maintenance. There's always maintenance to catch up on, and here Jerry's helping me out. There's a little bit of leak around my propeller shaft, and he's trying to fix it for me. If the propeller shaft gets some nicks in it or isn't totally smooth, a little bit of water can leak around the seal, and he's just taking some emery cloth and sanding that a little bit, polishing it up so that it gets a nice tight seal. After a few days in Block Island, we were back in Noank at the yacht club, enjoying some little neck clams that Amy had gotten herself. I believe she steamed them in wine, garlic, and butter, and they were absolutely fabulous. It was also pizza night, and let me tell you, I could really start to get used to this yacht club lifestyle. Sitting on the mooring, I always love to see the youth sailors come by in their little racing boats. So we rounded out our week with one of our favorite restaurants in Mystic called Bravo Bravo, and it happened to be Lori's 47th birthday. We had a ball. I'm not sure Lori's birthday could have gotten any better. All right, enough of that. You get the idea. Well, that's about it. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel.